Hi everyone, hope everyone is staying safe, staying healthy, staying home. I'm doing the same. I'm really excited to share this video with you and hopefully spark some interest in the music industry. My name is Daniel Butler. I am a marketing coordinator for the Clyde Theater and the Club Room at the Clyde, which is a restaurant we have on site there. So basically what my job is I'm in charge, or one of the people in charge of selling the business to the community, whether it be the theater or the restaurant. On the theater side, I'm primarily involved with selling tickets to the shows, promoting upcoming artists coming to town, communicating with people that have already bought tickets to shows, and everything in between when it comes to marketing a concert. So print materials, artwork direction, graphic design, video editing, you name it, I'm probably doing it in the marketing scheme of things. On the restaurant side, I am primarily in charge of spreading information regarding the menu, food pictures to get people to come out and try something new. We also do, we did do live music 5 nights a week, so promoting those live music nights where we'd have live musicians come in and play while people were eating dinner. So obviously right now we're not doing any shows or in-person dining at the restaurant due to the stay-at-home orders. But when it was normal, my day-to-day for the theater has two different directions. So a normal day and then a show day. A normal day, which is a day we don't have a show, is primarily focused on selling all of our upcoming shows, making sure our emails are going out to people to get them to buy tickets, promoting the shows that need some extra love to get some more ticket buyers, and then brainstorming creative ways to communicate with our patrons to keep them coming back for an awesome experience at the Clyde Theater. On the restaurant side, a normal day is, like I said, sharing pictures on social media, just kind of regular upkeep to promote people to come out, try, have lunch, have dinner with their family, by themselves, you name it. So on a show day, that's a little different. We're primarily focused on one artist coming into town. We're focused on communicating with people that bought tickets to that show. So communicating where to park, what time do doors open, what time does the show start, where to come for dinner before the show, and then also communicating with the artist that is in town and making sure that their dressing rooms are filled, that we're doing creating some content with them while they're in town, being that we're a Sweetwater company. So getting them to talk about their guitar and why they use a certain guitar and stuff like that. So a lot of moving parts on a show day. I could go on for hours about what that looks like, but I've only got about 10 minutes, so I'm going to move on to a little bit of a backstory on how I got here. So what did I want to be in middle or high school, and was it this? Absolutely not. I had no idea what I wanted to do in middle and high school. Even up until I graduated, I was still unsure about what direction I wanted to take. I had a general idea and I had a direction I was taking, but it turned out to be the wrong one because I figured out what I really was truly passionate about. And yeah, that's probably one of my biggest advisory points, is making sure that you find something that you are happy doing, and that's what you should stick with, whether the money's there or not. You really want to focus on something that you're happy doing, and that will make working a lot more fun and a lot easier for you. So I've had a lot of different jobs to get to this point. I honestly might say that I've worked in just about every industry possible before I got to where I am today. So in high school, I started in landscaping. I did everything from landscaping to a server and a busboy at a restaurant, valet driver picking up people's cars. I was a cook at a fast food restaurant. I worked retail, and I even worked at the post office for a little while when I was still unsure about what I was going to do. So that's a funny story I'll touch on later. But once I got to college, I kind of narrowed down what I wanted to do because I fell in love with a local organization here that I volunteered with called Better For It. And I spent some time promoting a local music festival, and through that connection, I was able to earn my way into a director job, and I actually ended up running the festival through my last 2 or 3 years of college until I graduated. Once I graduated, I moved on to a marketing agency here in town that primarily did healthcare marketing, so all the big hospitals, all the big Parkview billboards you see, that was our agency there. And then I went from there to a nonprofit called Start Fort Wayne, where I worked with entrepreneurs and promoted entrepreneurs in Fort Wayne. Was there for about a year, and then I ran into this job as the marketing coordinator for the Clyde Theater. I really, when I came to college, I figured out that I really loved music, and I wanted to do something in music and event production. So once I figured that out, it was a lot easier to kind of justify what jobs I was going after. So back to my first job, I worked for a landscaping company for about 2 years in the warmer months. I got that job because my family had actually hired a landscaping company to come out and work on our house. And I was just turned 16. I was looking for a couple extra bucks in my pocket, and I had asked the lady that was running the business. I asked her if they were hiring, if they needed extra help, and she was like, "Actually, yeah. Why don't you help me on your own house? And if I feel like you work well and could come on, I'll gladly bring you on to the staff and help you and have you help out with other projects down the line." So all in all, things went well. Developed an awesome work ethic, being outside, and worked there for, like I said, about 2 years. So for my first job, a couple of positive, couple negative experiences. I don't think there's any job that I've fully regretted. Obviously, working in a fast food restaurant was not my favorite, but I was able to try it out and figured out that it wasn't for me. So from the landscaping job, my positive that I took away from it was developing a work ethic. And working for a small business that does landscaping, you have a short amount of time for a project to make sure that you're making money, and having a boss that really pushes you to get your job done and get it done well was very beneficial in developing my work ethic for future jobs. One negative, though, of that job was, or two negatives, was a lot of splinters and a lot of sunburn. So always had to make sure I was wearing sunscreen and make sure you had a good pair of gloves on, because you'd be going through those pretty quickly, and there's nothing worse than after a long day and just having sunburn on the top of your shoulders or something like that. So that's probably the only negative I took away from that job. One thing that might be interesting or funny to some of you about my career path and how I got to where I am today is that I actually worked as a mailman for about a year. I was in between college and high school, and I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I know I needed some money in my pocket, and I saw an ad in the paper actually about being a mail carrier, the guy that walks down the road that delivers mail in your mailbox, gets chased by dogs, the whole nine. So I did that for about a year, and that was really great because I got to spend all my time outside, just got to have headphones and listen to music and kind of just really think about what's going on in my life, what direction I wanted to take, and it actually helped me figure out the steps I needed to take to get to the next step in my life, in my career. So that's always a funny story I like to tell. And yes, the dogs do chase as much as the cartoons say they do. So my education path was pretty normal from elementary school to high school to graduation. I stayed in town where I'm from South Bend, Indiana. It's up north, close to Michigan. I decided to stay home from college, or stay local for college, and went to school in South Bend, Indiana for a year. And I had graduated high school with a desire to... I was an athlete, so I had a desire to stay towards the athletic path, and I was also an athletic trainer when I was in high school and helped out with the different sports teams, wrapped ankles, and did all that fun stuff for the football teams, soccer teams, after I was done playing sports myself. So I left high school thinking that I wanted to be a physical therapist, and I had it all set up, and I was a biology major when I first started college out. And I figured out very quickly that that was not where my passion was, and I had to decide very quickly is this it, or do I need to change right now? And I ended up changing, and I moved to Fort Wayne, Indiana, where I still live now, and shifted everything over to marketing, and just got a fresh start and fell in love with it. So don't be afraid to take that risk, and follow your gut. If you like doing something, you'll make it work. And they asked me to say some certifications that I've acquired with my education. Once I got into marketing, I focused mainly on the college classes, and luckily I had the job that got me to learn a lot about social media marketing and digital marketing more than what college was teaching in my earlier years. And so I'm certified in Facebook Blueprint, which is Facebook advertising. So when you see ads on Facebook, that's I'm certified to place those. Also, I'm certified in Google AdWords, which is the same sort of thing, but on Google. When you type something into Google and you see like some ads at the very top, I know how to place those ads. On top of that, I went back to school for some basic website coding to help update the website and everything like that. And then I'll also recommend that what I've done is I've gone and kind of self-taught myself how to do basic Photoshop, video editing, let's see here, graphic design, and then a few other small details that I use in my day-to-day career. So if I was to give advice to my younger self, if I could choose my career path over again, I would tell myself to early on focus on what I really truly wanted to do. I had some direction, but at the same time, I wasn't 100% sure, and I was just kind of going with it. I wasn't really thinking about it. I made a decision and I started pursuing it, but I didn't really internalize that this is 100% what I wanted to do. And luckily I was able to get to Fort Wayne and transfer into marketing and figure out that music and marketing and event production was where my true passion was. So that's definitely the advice I would go back and tell myself, is just take the time to figure out what you truly are passionate about, and the rest will fall into place if you put the work in. And you have to put the work in. You can't just wait for it to happen. You have to, if you really truly are passionate about something, you will find the time to make it happen, or just kind of delay that progress until you get there. So if there are any other questions about this, please feel free to reach out to your teacher to get in contact with me. I'm more than happy to answer any email questions, or even on the phone if you feel it's necessary. I am so grateful that I got to do this for you guys, and I know I went through a lot of stuff fast, but if you remember anything, is just make sure that when you're figuring out what your future has in store, that you look inside yourself and figure out what truly makes you happy. And yes, there's going to be some jobs that there's going to be some fast food jobs that you don't like along the way, or there's going to be working as a mailman along the way that are not going to be fun, but they're a necessary stepping stone to get to where you want to be. So thank you very much. Once again, my name is Daniel. I'm a marketing coordinator at the Clyde Theater, and I hope everyone stays safe, stays home, and stays healthy. Thanks.